Hi guys, just give me a minute to make sure that this is going streaming. I'm going to try and share my screen in a second. If that's going to work out for me. Hi guys, just give me a minute to make sure that this is going streaming. I'm going to try and share my screen in a second. Okay, and it looks like that is going. Let me just see if I can get my screen share up. How are you guys feeling? How are you guys feeling after the full moon in Capricorn? I just wanted to make sure that you guys know that you kind of accomplished your task without even knowing it. I know there's been some confusion. There's been a lot of emotions before this moon. So I just want to make sure that you guys know that you most likely accomplished your task without even trying. That's usually how it works. So yeah. And I don't know if my chart is actually, I don't know if my astro chart is showing up. Oh, okay. Okay, it looks like it is. Okay, so the Capricorn full moon occurred at 21 degrees this afternoon, opposed the sun in Cancer. So the whole theme of this moon cycle was about really considering that full moon was within conjunction range of Pluto and Capricorn, was really like looking at the structures in whatever house that fell in for you and identifying what structures were kind of toxic for you or weren't working out for your best good, weren't working out for the new structures that you're looking to put in place in the future, and letting go of those structures, and then immediately having this amazing new idea or flow that you were going to implement when you let go of these structures. So the next 2 weeks, we're all going to be letting go of the things in our life that we identified as being toxic to us. And I'll go through all the signs so we can kind of talk about where you guys are in that. But I've heard so many things from so many people about how they had these like realizations and that they just feel so much better today. So I just wanted to hook up with you guys and kind of go over where those topics could be for you. Now, of course, I study Western Hellenistic astrology, but if you like to look at your Vedic sign, of course, do that. It's usually the sign before the Western sign. And also, if you don't know your rising sign, I can always run a chart with my sun sign and my moon sign and still have it resonating. The sun sign would be the actions that you're taking in life. So just listen to that section, and your moon sign would be like your home environment and your emotional feelings too. I find that I like to get a complete picture of, all the places when I do a reading for somebody. So you guys might want to look at all of those things. So if you look at the chart, we do have the sun up here within range to Mercury in Cancer, and then the full moon was down here in Capricorn. So let's just start off with Cappies, considering it's their big day. Capricorns, with this full moon, you should have been enlightened. You should have been able to see with the full moon things about yourself, things about your emotional status, or things that you do to your body, or things that you do in your life or that you have surrounding your life, some kind of thing that has been in place for a long time, and how that holds you back from actually going towards your dreams in life. So Capricorns, this is all about you and partnerships. Perhaps you've identified some kind of behavior or emotional block that you haven't been able to get rid of in the past that's keeping you from actually creating partnerships, either business or love connections or something. So you should have been able to identify those things. It could be, considering it's the moon, it could be your home environment that's not conducive to your relationships right now, or actually the actions that you take or not opening up because, it is ruled by Saturn and there's Pluto there. So some kind of toxic behaviors that are around you or you allow in, or just things that are messing with you being able to go towards your best good in life. But the good thing is there's Pluto there. So you guys would have been able to identify this and, be dedicated to changing that or letting go of that toxic thing in your life for the next 2 weeks. And by changing that or getting rid of those things, you're going to be able to let something new in. Pluto transforms. So it goes down and it kind of recycles anything that you throw away and like allows new growth. So that's amazing. It's your moon. So I mean, nobody's better at leveling up or going towards a goal like the Capricorn. So I have full I have full faith in you guys doing what you need to do. All right. And if we go to Aquarius, this full moon was happening in your 12th house. So this would be a place that would be associated with hidden enemies, like people that you let into your life, like things that you do to put yourself off course. It also has to do a lot with the mind. It could be the emotional mind, and you're not allowing growth in that area. You're not allowing things to be exposed to look at toxic habits or toxic things that are kind of not out in the open. It could be bad habits actually that you have that you're going to let go of. And through this transformation, you're going to be able to go forward with your new moon that is coming up soon. And really step it up and transform those areas of your life that are kind of hidden from other people, kind of in your subconscious realms. The 12th house could be anything like prisons, hospitals, ashrams, like it's where the Buddhists meditate and how you get in touch with spirituality on your own terms. But it's also the place that we cause our own failures, or a place where kind of people we have hidden enemies like scammers or people taking advantage of you. So I hope that gives you some insight on what you should be identifying as toxic and letting go of to go ahead in the future. And then we have the Pisces. Pisces, this full moon is happening in your 11th house. So that would be the house of friend groups, of kind of groups and associations that you belong to. It could be people that are beneficial to you, or even online activities. So you're going to identify how some of these things are toxic, and the structures need to be rewritten in this area. Perhaps your friends groups just aren't really jiving with you anymore, and you're looking to release some kind of negative influence that as it has pertaining to you, so you can go forward with a new creative life, or kind of live your best life in that aspect. All right. And for the Aries, this is happening in your 10th house of career or parenthood. So there should be something for the Aries, and also public reputation. So should be something for the Aries that you're looking at as it pertains to job, career, parenting, or your public reputation, that you're actually seeing how you're holding yourself back, how the structures that you have in place right now, it just aren't working for you. So you're going to identify those are going to be illuminated with the full moon, and you're going to allow those things to be actively work to transform those areas so that you can go ahead with the new balance of work life, home life, and be much more successful in that area. For a Taurus, this full moon is happening in your 9th house. So that would have everything to do with long distance travel, could be schooling, could be authority figures, could literally be your philosophy on life, or it's also associated with grandparents in some systems. So you are identifying the structures in those areas, or the structures, the ways, the structures that you've set up that just aren't working for you, that are toxic, and you're looking to transform that in some way to move towards your best life ever. You guys could be actually letting go of an old religion that you feel blocks you in, or some kind of authority figure that has really like been encompassing on you, or just making you feel like you're not best self. So you're looking at things you need to get rid of in that area. Perhaps you're doing too much traveling, or it's also the ninth house is also associated with distribution. So perhaps you guys have been buying too many things online, and you're going to look at how that is not actually healthy for where you want to grow in the future, and you're going to be able to adapt and change and let that go. Okay, and for the Geminis, this full moon is happening in your eighth house. So the eighth house is all about beginnings and endings, and actually partnerships, places where you share money, where you owe people money, or where they owe you money. So you guys could actually be looking at your debt, looking at how you spend your money, or how you give to people and what they give you, and any kind of toxicity or things that just aren't working out for you, for the path that you're looking to go on into the future. You're actually going to identify the old structures that aren't working anymore, and go forward, letting go the old ways in that system, and kind of transforming it so that you can get into a new creative future. So yeah, with Geminis, it's all about money. You guys are probably looking at your money, your resources right now, and seeing how that adapts, like the give and take of things. It's also the place of sexuality. In some astrology systems, the place of kind of partnerships and getting frisky. It's also the place of public areas. So like parks and recreation places like that. It's also the place of taxes and inheritances, and things that you share with other people. So you guys could be looking at redoing some of those things, getting those things finished if you haven't finished them, just to be able to go forward and go towards your new amazing life that you've thought of building. All right, and Cancerians, this full moon is happening in your seventh house. Yay. So this is all about partnerships, business partnerships, personal partnerships. So not really friend groups, but like personal partnerships, and people you work for, people that you do business with, regardless of what kind of business it is. So you guys are looking at the people in your life that come into your existence and surround you, and what ones are toxic and kind of take away from you, and the structures that you want to change around actually who you do business with, who you relationship with, so that you can feel a little bit freer and put your best self forward. So you guys could actually be redoing boundaries, letting go of like being so open, and putting up boundaries, otherwise letting down boundaries, and letting more healthy, gracious, free-flowing people into your space. So that's amazing. And next we have the Leos. Leos, you guys are having this full moon happen in your sixth house. So that is all about examining what you do on a day-to-day basis, how you spend your energy on a day-to-day basis, how you serve other people, and changing the structure in that. To be healthy, you guys could actually be looking into like a new health routine, and kind of getting rid of like it's the house of Aquarius, or the house of Capricorn would be your 6th house. So it could be structures that you have around just what you do on a daily basis, how you serve people, how that affects you in your life. And you're looking to revamp and change that. To go forward into a day-to-day routine that's a little bit freer for you. This could literally be about your job situation because the 6th house is all about working and serving and kind of being a slave. It also can resonate with pets. So there could be something about working that you're looking at that's not working for you. Unhealthy patterns in that, unhealthy structures that have been around for a while that you want to change and you will change. So just be comfortable with that change and let it go, and be able to look towards your new day-to-day habits and your new day-to-day routines that are going to result in the healthiest for you. All right, and next we have the Virgos. Virgos, this is happening in your 5th house of creativity, children, and love, also, or love interests. So people that you date or people that you go out and have fun with. It could also be a house of just like gambling or risky behavior, just fun, creative things. So Virgos, you are looking at your structures that you currently have in place in that 5th house. Perhaps you're looking at your children's routines, or the structure that you currently have around your children, or the structure that you currently have around your creative output, and or your love interest. You could be like literally pondering like the people that you've dated in the past, and like getting rid of that structure and how you do things to go forward to a more happy and flowing future. So that's amazing. Next we have the lovely Libras. Libras, this full moon is happening in your 4th house. So your house of home, your house of family. So you're really looking at the structures that have been in place for a long time for you in that area. And if they're unhealthy structures that aren't allowing you to go forward with your best self for your future, you're really looking to let go of the old structures, the structures that just don't work anymore, and change that up a little bit so that you can go forward. 4th house, 10th house access, probably advancing something in your career life. Yeah, so that's amazing. It could also be, things that you, current structures around your parents. Perhaps there's some parental issues going on and you have to change some structures going on with your parents, or literally in your home, changing structures in your home, like doing projects at home, or changing up rooms or something. But you're going to be able to be illuminated with this full moon to see what needs to be changed, and to be able to work for the next 2 weeks on letting go of what you need to bring in the new. So amazing. All right, and next we have the Scorpio. A Scorpio, this is happening in your 3rd house. So the 3rd house, it's kind of a vague house. It has a lot to do with a trade or paperwork, or non-parental family members such as brothers and sisters, or like aunts and uncles. It also has to do with siblings. So Scorpio, I feel like there's some kind of illumination. It could also be your friend groups. There's some kind of like singular friends, not groups though. Scorpios in their singular friends. It could also be your neighborhood. So it's a vast group, the 3rd house, but I think something in there will resonate with you. So you guys could actually be looking at like some kind of paperwork, or some kind of knowledge-based learning, or changing up the way that you do things in that area, looking at the structures that you had in the past and kind of going forward to revamp that in the future. You could be just like catching up on paperwork that you should have done a long time, and then like not procrastinating anymore. There could be literally changes going on in your immediate neighborhood, or changing the structures and kind of boundaries and patterns that you have around your personal friendships, what personal friendships are healthy for you, which ones are not, um, structures around your siblings, what things are healthy for you that happened in the past, what you want to grow in the future, and just structures around short-term travel. It could be short-term travel. Could be something with cars, looking and identifying something that you have to change about your car, or short-term travel that will help you to grow things in the future. So I know that's a big list, Scorpio, but this is going to help you revamp and kind of go forward with your literally manifesting things on a material plane, going forward with learning, or going forward with things to do with, spirituality, or just finding your best self to manifest things on the material plane, I guess I would say. Okay. It could have something to do with like college or learning too. So looking how that doesn't fit for you, and kind of changing that area. I know that was a broad spectrum. Okay, Sagittarius, you guys are looking at the full moon in Capricorn is illuminating things in your second house of money. So you guys could actually be looking at the structures in place in the past. And for some reason, you're looking to tweak that structure a little bit to go forward. With some dream of yours. You could actually be finding just thinking of a new way to make money, or kind of adjusting the budget, or just examining what is of worth to you, because the second house is what you value, what is of worth to you, and what you're going to cut out to be able to enjoy an easier life, an easier pleasure, and actually work towards your goals in the future. So that is that's about it, guys. I actually am not on my YouTube channel, so I can't see if like there's a live chat going on or anything, or if you guys have any questions. I'd certainly be happy to look at some charts if there is anything going on, and it doesn't look like it. So I think you guys are set. I just wanted to make sure that it's the astrology happens whether you guys know about the transits or not. And sometimes when it has to do with getting rid of things that are that you need to be internally illuminated, that aren't the best for you, I kind of like to not say anything, because it's kind of like a big congratulations then when you guys made it without even knowing what was going on. So I've had a lot of people tell me that they've been illuminated in their life during this transit. And I certainly hope that that is the case for you guys. I certainly hope that you found the illumination that you needed with the full moon to go towards your best future life. I know that Capricorn is something that stands for a long-standing structure. So everybody's making huge changes with this full moon. And I'm just like so excited about that. Sometimes Pluto can be a little tricky of an energy to work with, but considering you have the strength and the perseverance of Capricorn with this moon for actually going into action, like it's a cardinal sign, like it really keeps on going and going and going until the task is accomplished. I'm just like so positive actually about this full moon. I think that you guys probably all sense a sense of relief at this point, since the full moon is kind of apexed already this afternoon. And the energy has kind of settled a little bit. So yeah, that's all I have for you guys about this full moon. It was a beautiful moon. I hope when in your area you're still able to get out and see that tonight for yourselves. But other than that, I love you all.